What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters, and my Better Call Saul fans? I'm One Eyebrow, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about possible foreshadowing what may happen to Saul in the series finale. Spoiler warning for all things Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Well, we're going to talk about Season 6, Episode 11, and if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out before you've seen, or well, watch this video, because I don't want to ruin anything for you. Again, spoiler warning. Now, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, and other shows love foreshadowing. And mainly, I love the foreshadowing idea. We know that Kim's last episode might have been 609, and we haven't seen her there. She left and went away. But we talk about Breaking Bad, and that was the title of this episode. And it was pretty cool, also a little lame, that Walt and Jesse were back in this episode, if that's the only time we see them. Now, if we see them again, that'd be pretty cool. And it feels like they're wrapping up Breaking Bad, also Better Call Saul. I mean, of course, they already wrapped up Breaking Bad, but Better Call Saul is wrapping up there. And we know that this scene right here from Breaking Bad, Lalo didn't send you? No Lalo? You see the beanie hats and, just this is what they're wearing here. So Jesse is older, obviously, so people are complaining about that. But what do you want him to do? It's been so long since he's played this part. And Walt, Bryan Cranston, didn't really have to wear the, skull cap or, bald cap or whatever it is. So he just had this on, so he didn't have to do that. And it's cool that they're back in the RV. And a lot of people are saying, like, how big the RV is. And obviously it's a set for filming, but I guess you would have more room when you remove panels and furniture and all this stuff. But it's tough in tight quarters to film stuff, but it's just cool that they kind of wrapped up some stuff from Breaking Bad into Better Call Saul. And anytime we see Walt and Jesse, it's always a good thing in my opinion. Now, as soon as the RV died, it reminded me of when it was Jesse and Walt and it died before. And it's just cool that they have flashbacks and callbacks and Easter eggs and connections. And overall, you have to say, well, maybe you don't, but I have to say they did a great job with it. These people are older. Much older from when they filmed this show, Breaking Bad that is, and they're back on Better Call Saul. It's pretty cool. Walt coughing, cancer, comes back around again with the guy who has cancer when Saul is in the bar. I think it's just cool, and more shows need to do this. This is a great blueprint of what to do in a universe of world building and shows. Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. It's a minor thing here, but it's just cool to see. I don't know what's going to happen with Saul. Is he going to get captured? Is he going to get caught? Is he going to get arrested? Is he going to get killed? But Walt died. Jesse got away. And, it's cool to see what possibly could happen with Saul. Is he going to see Kim again? Don't worry, we'll definitely talk about that. But as the RV is being driven away, when Walt, lets the fuel pump cool down, and he starts it up, and they back away from the grave that they dug, it's focused on. And I can't help to wonder about two questions. Does this mean that Saul is going to get killed and buried in the desert? Somehow, some way. But who kills him? Jeff or Marion or someone like that? Because when you see the hole here, it blends or morphs or whatever you want to call it to Gene. Well, Saul and Gene. So does that mean that Saul was dead or Gene's gonna die? Because they focus on it. It's a couple seconds where it's like, look at that. The foreshadowing of Saul is gonna be put in a grave. Or does that mean that Saul died off and now it's Gene, like he can never be Saul again? I don't know what to make of it, but would they really kill off Saul Goodman at the end, like Walter White? And also, this guy, do you know who this guy is? I don't know his name. You can look it up on IMDb, but it's Buzz from Home Alone and Home Alone 2. And I guess the latest Home Alone movie when he's a cop or a security guard. But then we see Saul, and it's cool to see Mike. And a lot of people are asking a good question. Why does Mike work for Saul here? Does he need to do that? Like, it just kind of seems out of place a little bit for some people. Not me. And also the Swing Master device is made to relax your back. It's made for kind of like a traction, relaxation of your back muscles and your pelvis and your hips and stuff. So I've never used them myself. I am a physical therapist, hence the PT channel. And I don't know if that actually works or not, but hey, give it a try. But when Mike shows up, I'm like, hey, we get to see Mike again. So we only have 2 episodes left, 6/12 and 6/13. Who else will we see? Will we see Bill Burr's character, Huel, Badger, I don't know, Skinny Pete. Like, will we see more people? Like, we're wrapping up the show. There's only 2 more episodes left. And it's kind of sad, but I kind of interested to see where it goes. Saul being Saul. And it's crazy that Bob Odenkirk has played so many different characters here, you know? Like, he's playing Saul Goodman and Jimmy and also Gene. So it's pretty cool, I have to say, here. And we find out the backstory of how Saul knew about Walter White. Mike got the information when he goes to the school. It's kind of connecting that way. You know, it's just cool to see. Now, we have to talk about the Francesca-Saul conversation. A couple things was we know that Skylar White made a deal, and I guess as a free lady, she gave some money and the whole thing with Heisenberg and everything there. But also she talks about internet. You don't have the internet where you are? That could be a pretty big thing coming up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the conversation with Francesca and Gene was very enlightening, or Saul. When Saul and Francesca talk about Kim, it's always good because a lot of people are wanting to see Kim again. Could she show up in 612 or 613? I hope so. But let's break it down a little bit. So he calls Florida. He got the information and knows where Kim is. He calls, looking for a Titusville, which is a real place. There, I live in Florida, so it's cool to see that. And he's making a collect call while trying to get connected, so then he's got to put some money into the phone. He's looking for Kim Wexler. Now, we don't know if he actually talks to Kim or someone else or her boss or wherever she's doing there, or whatever she's doing there. How did she get there? Is it connected with the vacuum guy? And so, but this is all we see. It's inaudible. And he freaks out and he's yelling and he's in the phone booth, and then he smacks the phone booth and breaks the phone booth and smacks the phone and does all this crazy stuff. So I'm sure we're going to hear the conversation in 612 or 613. They wouldn't just not give us that information. I have nothing but faith in Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould, what they're going to do in the last 2 episodes. This wasn't the last episode, so there's 2 episodes, full episodes, to find out what happened here and how it's going to be, connected. So the other thing here is about the internet. And Marion is probably going to be the one that takes Gene down. They love Carol Burnett, and that's who that is, if you didn't know that. So she's a big-time actress, or was at least. So she is, stealing the scenes, and she's really doing a great job. But she has the internet, YouTube, and she's probably going to find out about Saul Goodman, and she'll probably put 2 and 2 together about Gene looking like Saul. She'll probably talk to Jeffy, and we'll have to see how it goes down. But it would be fitting that Saul gets taken down by a senior citizen sweet woman. That it would be fitting, after Sandpiper and all this stuff. And, Saul is basically stealing identities and doing stuff that is not good. Saul's our guy, but he's doing some shady stuff. So when Saul gets the phone call about the cancer guy, and that's how the episode ends, we see that Marion is watching her cat videos. I love a good cat video too, but cat goes for a spin. Yee, wee. So she's sitting there on her computer. That's really highlighting the fact that she loves her computer, that she's probably going to get tired of cat videos and do a search on there. And I just feel like this foreshadowing has to amount to something. And again, Breaking Bad has never let me down with the build-up and the payoff. Other shows have, but they're building this up. And again, we have 2 full episodes to find out what's going on here. The black and white is kind of getting on my nerves a little bit, but I know why they're doing it, for the timeline of things, and you get to understand stuff. And overall, some people are really hating these episodes, the past 2 episodes since Kim went away. And I think they've been good. I think they've been still great episodes, and I'm very interested to see how this story ends. But what do you think, guys? Do you think that Marion is going to be the one that takes Saul down? Or maybe it's just the fact that she does something, alerts the authorities, and Saul has to leave. Does he go to Florida to be with Kim? Will it be a happy ending? Happy ending. But we'll have to see if it makes sense. I think it will. Again, I have faith in Vince and Peter that they're going to do a great job. But what do you make of this possible foreshadowing? They clearly showed this for a reason, and I love when shows do this because it makes you wonder, makes you think, especially if there is payoff for it. And the first thing I thought of, Sal's going to go in a grave. See you later, Saul. You're done. But let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Like, share, subscribe. When we get information about The Walking Dead, we'll be posting videos, of course, but talking about Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, House of the Dragon, other shows. Thank you guys either way. Stay safe. And as always, tell them Daryl.
Yo,